TV. Well, to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV, a great show ahead. Among other things, we're going to be talking to the Ottawa Humane Society. Big event coming up in September. The Aero Gatineau-Ottawa Air Show is back again this year, bigger and better than ever. We'll tell you about that. The Hobby Center is here. They're also in partnership with the Gatineau-Ottawa Air Show. All that and more coming up, but we start here in the kitchen. I am so excited to introduce you to my next guest. You'll recognize one of them. Rolf Jonikis is food and drinks editor with Capital Eats. Head over to capitaleats.ca, by the way, to subscribe. And Mark Gomez is the co-owner of Little Barcelona. Gentlemen, welcome. Great to have you both here.
Good to be here.
Rolf, I'll start with you because you keep bringing in these, I won't even call them hidden gems because they're not hidden whatsoever. These are some incredible places. Tell me how you ended up finding out about Little Barcelona located out there in Prescott.
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky. And I have an acquaintance, Laura Paquette of Ottawa Road Trips, really great blogger.
Yeah.
And she mentioned that there was this Spanish restaurant opening in Prescott, and I thought, why don't we have Spanish restaurants in Ottawa? I mean, it's just crazy. It's a great culture with an incredible cuisine, but you know, I decided as soon as I heard. The next day, I'm out there visiting Mark, and I had a great time, and I was also very impressed to find out that he brings in some of the greatest, most prestigious Spanish food goods that are available in Canada. And yeah, you're going to hopefully try some of this today.
I know. This looks pretty amazing, Mark, what you've brought in here today. But tell me a little bit about your journey. I mean, you were born in Spain. What brought you here to Canada?
Well, I was born in Spain, raised in Spain, grew up in Spain, and 30-something years later, I met my wife, who is a Canadian.
I see. Romance brought you to Canada.
That's right.
I've been so fortunate to visit Spain and enjoyed so much cuisine. But you know, for those who've never visited, how would you describe Spanish cuisine to people exactly?
Spanish cuisine is not much different than cuisine all over the world. It's just get all the nice ingredients we have around us, and you know. There's nothing like some stuff coming off the farms, of the fields, and bring them to the table.
Well, as Rolf said, you've brought in something incredibly unique. You have a lot of different unique things. What do we have in front of us here? Tell me a little bit about this.
So here we have a Joselito ham. Joselito is a producer of 100% Iberian hams, acorn-fed, which means that they are 100% free-range black pig that is only raised in the meadows of Spain. In this case, naturally aged. Only sea salt and ham for, in this particular case, over 6 years. It's a 2019 ham. And Joselito is a family-owned business that's been around for over 150 years.
Wow.
6 generations within the same family. So they are actually farmers. They raise and they control the entire production process. And it's a limited production, all the product is taken care of. It's just a delicacy.
Rolf, you were wowed when you tried this. What stands out? Why is this so good compared to something else you would find?
Well, one of the things that people will notice compared to, let's say, the more famous or generally available ham from Italy, prosciutto, you'll find that this feels less salty, and yet it's much more deeply flavored.
Really?
And I think it has a lot to do, obviously, with the diet of acorns that these pigs are raised on, because it creates a real richness and, to use a generic term, nuttiness to the ham. You'll also find that when you take a slice of this ham, the fat melts almost immediately on your tongue, just from the warmth of your tongue. And you almost get the sense that the meat is doing the same thing. It's really quite unique and special.
Mark, can we try some?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
So as you can see, the fat is melting at a room temperature. Is for that high content of oleic acid that the acorns have and the pigs eat during their diet.
Okay.
And it just at the room temperature.
And do you slice it really thin? Is that part of the key to it as well?
Slicing also takes part on the flavor.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That is unlike anything I've ever. You're right. Not nearly as salty as you would get from prosciutto. And the fat content is is absolutely perfection. This is only one menu item that you have, Mark. Sort of walk us through, if somebody visits the restaurant, what can they expect?
So they can expect the highest quality of products, natural products that are allowed in Canada, because Canadian regulations sometimes force you to use some ingredients that you wouldn't like to have.
Okay.
But, we work with farmers and producers that are natural and they have great products. We have from olive oils from over 1,000-year-old trees, artisanal vinegars, wet asparagus, producer of veggies that has been 5-generation farmers, also been around in Spain, Marcona almonds, olives, beautiful, beautiful white and dark anchovies from the Cantabric Sea. So we take all these ingredients that we have from Spain that are not normally available in Canada.
Right.
Okay, and we bring them here for customers.
Do you have a retail space as well within the restaurant?
We do have a retail space, and we make those products available to our customers in our shop and also online.
You did an article on Capital Eats, so Rolf, you've already said you went, like, as soon as you heard about this place, you went. You tried some of the different dishes there. Like, describe what those dishes were like. What can people expect?
I mean, I really enjoyed the calamari, but also, especially because it's such a unique item, the bechamel croquettes. Now, you have to understand, I don't know how this man does it, but he manages to bread a bechamel sauce and then deep fries it. Now, you can imagine once you bite into that, it's just a textural and luscious, sensual experience. There was also the paella, and Mark uses I think it's a seafood broth that he brings in from Spain, and again, the highest quality stuff, and it was just delicious and completely different from what you normally get in terms of a paella,
right,
where a restaurant might use just boxed chicken stock. Here, you're getting something, a taste of Spain, the way that they would make it there.
Yeah, and you make it in a couple of different ways. Is that right, Mark?
Yeah, we do, we do the seafood paella, we do the chicken paella, we do the veggie paella, so we are kind of growing with those ingredients that we can find suitable to a restaurant. We don't add any ingredient just because we have to make it. We want to source the right ingredients.
I love Prescott, Ottawa Valley, there's so many beautiful spots. What brought you to that particular area to open the restaurant?
Well, my wife grew up in that area.
Oh, did she?
So
okay.
we are actually living 2 hours up the road from my in-laws.
Very nice. And you must love that area then, right? Because, coming from Spain, you're talking about, the farmers that you work with, you're really in an agricultural community out there as well, right?
We are, and we love working with local farmers now that we are in season to bring all those ingredients to our tables. And yeah, I love the area because we have a family of 2 kids now, and it's a nice small community. Prescott is a small, nice little town.
Yeah.
And I encourage everybody to go and visit Prescott and come to visit us and
yeah, absolutely.
Taste the Spain without the plane ticket.
A lot of changes going on at the Ottawa Lookout.
Yeah.
They're still continuing. I subscribe to them. I honestly really encourage you to check them out. They've got they're looking for some new people too, right? Looking for some new people to, report and do some great articles there. So you can visit the Ottawa Lookout. Also visit capitaleats.ca to find out all these fantastic spots that Rolf has found. Gentlemen, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Congratulations. We'll be back with more right after this.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
The regulars, the guys who keep this place in business. Last week, they had something to celebrate. Jason had just finished university. So they toasted his profs, his TAs, his old roommates. Well, they toasted just about everyone. But I worry about and take care of my guys. So even when I know they're not driving, sometimes that means bringing them a little surprise. And then they had a drink to me.
Brought to you by Smart Serve Ontario and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
Anyone can show up with a hammer and build something. It's really hard to build it properly. Sewage air is coming out of this. There's no reason to be left like this. Absolutely none. An experienced contractor never would have done it.
Every year, you're gonna be repainting that
Once
thing.
you start,
right?
that's
You're
it.
done.
A lot of what happens with contracting happens behind the scenes. It's not always about swinging the hammer. Don't put that on camera.
I understand what you're saying, but the code is the code.
I'm looking forward to getting at it. Let's do it.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
As I mentioned off the top of the show, the Aero Gatineau-Ottawa Air Show is coming up. We're going to get all the details. John Bennett's coming up in just a little bit. He's the executive director of the show. But there's a lot of fantastic vendors that are going to be there celebrating everything aviation, including the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Air Force. And here to talk more about why he's so excited to be there, I am joined by Bill Chappell. He is the owner of the Hobby Center. Welcome back, Bill. Great to have you here. How's the new location going? We should start with that. How have things been so far?
It's great. It's being in front of the bowling alley, which brings all kinds of people into the area. I'm right on Maryville Road. You can see me when you're going by. You know, things are just looking up all the time.
Bill, you've been on the show many times in the past, but for those that aren't familiar with your background, the Hobby Center, you've been doing this for a long, long time. Tell everybody at home a little bit about your history and how you got into the Hobby Center.
So I've been doing this for 38 years. I took up where a place called Hobbyland. It was an iconic hobby store downtown, Slater O'Connor. If you're old like me, you'll remember it. So we picked
I remember it. I'm old like you. Yeah.
We picked up where they left off. As I say, we've been doing it for 38 years. And over time, I've learned that I don't just sell hobby, I sell the idea of doing hobby. So that's a big component of what I do. I got to get people excited about doing them, you know, which helps my business, but, you know, all the benefits of doing a hobby, that I push that as well.
Yeah, and we've talked about that in the past, and there are so many benefits. And, you know, one of the things you and I have talked about, you know, screen time, veterans, you know, that are overcoming or trying to overcome PTSD. These are some of the benefits you always discuss, but share it with our viewers at home.
Well, there's those things you described, people recovering from strokes, people that need to focus on their hand manipulation, eye coordination. It just does all those things, plus the creative process, the thought that goes into creating a model and painting it and making it as realistic as you can. I mean, there's just so much layers.
I know, as I said, you're excited to be at the Air Show. Tell me a little bit about, you know, what you're going to be providing and what you're bringing to the Air Show this year.
I'm excited and proud to be part of the Air Show. We've been going to the Air Show for off and on for about 20 years now, I think. We were there almost from the beginning. So I go where the hobbyists are. So people that like aircraft usually like hobbies. It kind of fits together. So the things I bring out, you know, I bring out the plastic model kits that people might already know. If you want to build a hobby kit for the first time, I've got a whole kit. It's got everything you need to do it, and it's the Red Arrows who are appearing at this show.
Right.
You don't want to make a kit, you're not brave enough, hey, you can buy a little one already put together and collect it. I think I mentioned when I talked to you before, I have a little book. It's the evolution of the snowbirds who are going to be at this show. I am the North American importer and distributor of this book. You can only get it from me or from dealers that deal with me.
What makes that book so incredibly special, Bill?
Well, it was on the 50th anniversary of the snowbirds. Okay. It's written by a fellow in England, Gary Siddall, and he's an enthusiast of air show teams. He wrote one on the Red Arrows as well. So he decided on our anniversary to create this beautiful, lavishly illustrated book with all the markings and all.
That is great.
And of course, the snowbirds are going to be there.
Yeah.
So if you want a little souvenir about them, if you want to take this over, if they have a meet and greet and get it autographed, I mean, the world's your oyster, so to speak.
And then you have something I grew up with. This is probably one of the first things I probably put together when it comes to, models. And this is something, simple for every young and old person out there, right?
Well, everybody comes to the booth. There's price ranges all over the place. But if your little kid wants something a little fun, this one's supposed to represent a snowbird. It's just a little inexpensive glider so the little kids can have something for a souvenir to take home after the show.
Right.
And lastly, what I brought out here was souvenirs directly related to the 100th anniversary. These are pledge coins, lapel pins, and things like that that were made exclusively for the anniversary this year, and we have a bunch of these for sale at our tent as well. So it's a one-year thing, 100th anniversary, commemorative stuff.
You mentioned, you've been doing this for 20 years. When people come to you at each air show, I mean, there must be the excitement, right? They've just seen some of the aircrafts, right? Because that's something we'll talk to John about as well later on in the show. But they've just seen some of the aircrafts, and then they come to you, and all of a sudden it's there for them to make themselves and, to bring home with them, right?
And if that wasn't enough, in our tent, we are sharing space with the Ottawa Lego Users Group. So there's going to be a big display of Legos, like an airfield with all kinds of airplanes, Canadian airplanes, other airplanes, really cool stuff. And the Ottawa Model Club, the IPMS, they're going to be there talking about their club and showing some really high-level built models and how they do them and that. So you could talk to them to learn about doing this stuff.
I see you brought sort of the history of Canadian aviation with you here. Tell me a little bit about this poster here, Bill.
Yeah, it's a poster that takes you all the way from the Silver Dart right up to what we're currently using now and everything in between. It's a really neat, and it's all to scale, so you can get an idea of the size of the aircraft. And I thought that was just the greatest thing to have at an air show as a souvenir to hang up in your room or your office.
38 years in, I imagine, are airplanes still one of the most popular models?
In some ways, there's things that go way back, like making ships out of bones, and you can do all that research.
Yeah.
But during the war, they made aircraft models out of wood, and they got the scouts and the 4-H clubs and that to build these, and the military used them for aircraft recognition.
Really?
So the kids liked doing these so much that they decided after the war, hey, we'll make kits and sell them, because the kids really enjoy making it. That was the first sort of start of this thing. Then it went from wood and plastic, and now it's all pretty well plastic.
What are you seeing right now, like outside of the aviation field? What are some of the more popular things that people are coming into the hobby center for?
Well, the fastest growing sector, and I think we've talked about it before, are Japanese animated models. They're like robots, but they're supposed to have guys inside them, so they're technically mechs. Don't want to insult the robot people,
yes,
or the
course.
mech people. Yeah. But that's the largest, fastest growing sector right now. And then there's your cars, your planes, your tanks, your boats, and everything in between.
The air show itself is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Are you there each and every day, or just the Saturday, Sunday?
I'm there all three. We set up on the Friday, and we're there till it's too dark to be able to work. So we close down early, probably about the time the drone show starts. That will be exciting.
That will be.
Did I let that out of the bag?
No, that's okay. That's okay. We'll get the full details on that in just a little bit. Do you get to enjoy any of the air show itself while you're there, Bill?
Well, it's neat because you just got to look outside the tent and there's something roaring by, or you can tell by the way people run out to see what's going on with exciting things.
Yeah, when you hear one of them sort of firing up there, or you hear something coming overhead.
Oh yeah, and the static park is right there, and we're pretty well in the middle of the action, so it's pretty fun.
Well, I will see you there, pal.
All right.
It's good to see you again. Thanks so much. Bill Chappell, everybody from the Hobby Center. You can, by the way, you can visit him on his website, also on social media. And the Aero Gatineau-Ottawa Air Show will give you all the details coming up, but that is coming up September 6th to 8th, and it sells out fast. We'll be back with more right after this.
With your community news and events on Rogers TV, I'm Jillian Turman. With its spectacular colors, Ottawa is nothing short of stunning in autumn, and you can do your part to make the city even more beautiful. This September, register for Cleaning the Capital. Since its inception in 1994, over 1.5 million volunteers have removed more than 1.2 million kilograms of waste from our public spaces. You can choose from a variety of public spaces to help clean up, such as community parks, roadsides, and shorelines. To learn more, visit ottawa.ca/clean. Ottawa Police are in the Byward Market all summer for the Byward Market Safety Initiative, trying to ensure a safe environment for businesses, visitors, and residents. Officers will continue to take a zero-tolerance approach to disorderly behavior and criminal activity. You can report incidents online at ottawapolice.ca/report. And make sure to watch Derek Fage's Daytime every weekday at 2 p.m. on Rogers TV, Channel 22.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. The biggest event of the season for the Ottawa Humane Society is coming up shortly. Registration already open for the Wiggle, Waggle, Walk and Run. Say that 5 times fast at home. Here to tell us more about it, I'm joined by the marketing coordinator at the Ottawa Humane Society, Jillian Lemieux. And of course, the ambassador extraordinaire, Mila, the dog, joining us as well. Jillian, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Before we get to the event itself, the summer so far at the Ottawa Humane Society, how's it been going?
Yeah, it's been a really busy summer.
Yeah.
We've seen, since the summer started, more than 1,000 cats and kittens and even more animals in total come into our care. There is just such a high population right now, and it's something we're seeing across Ontario.
Right. Rabbits too? Was there not a big? Yeah, there was. You had quite a few come into your care as well, right?
Yes, we just wrapped up our Rabbit Week promotion.
Okay.
It's kind of like Shark Week, but for rabbits.
Right. Love it.
Yeah, and so we adopted out 30 rabbits during that promotion, but we still have a lot more at the OHS looking for homes.
Okay, excellent. So again, I always encourage everybody to visit the Ottawa Humane Society website, because there's the biographies of all the beautiful pets that are available. And always think of going there first if you're looking for that family pet. For the people that aren't, have not been introduced to Mila here, tell everybody at home how she came into the Ottawa Humane Society and what makes her special.
So Mila actually is one of our volunteer program dogs. So she has a home. She's a member of the public, but she comes in and volunteers her time for our educational programs. She goes into camps, classrooms, all that kind of stuff to help us teach humane education to the public.
What makes her good with doing that? Is it just the personality alone?
Definitely, yeah. She's very laid back, as you can see, very chill. She's happy to meet everyone. She's instantly your best friend as soon as she meets you. So that kind of makes a great program dog. She's also good with kids, good with other dogs. So all around, just really calm and friendly.
I remember back in the day, Jillian, I'm aging myself, you're too young, but I remember when it used to be called the Wiggle Waggle Walkathon.
Yeah.
We've changed the name now to the Wiggle Waggle Walk and Run. Let's talk about the details. There's a couple of runs and then a couple of fun walks to get involved with as well.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much to do at the Wiggle Waggle Walk and Run. So there are several different race events. So any age and ability, we have, if you're runners, there's a 5K and a 10K run. There's also, if you want to participate with your dog, we have a 2K furry fun run and a 3K walk, which we like to call the ultimate dog walk. It's hundreds and hundreds of people walking their dogs together. So that's really, really fun. And there's also a 1K walk for kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so every
But
age.
there's tons of other things happening as well, right? You've got vendors. Walk us through, the other portions of the event itself.
Yeah, definitely. So it's the biggest event for the animals in Ottawa. It's a huge dog festival on the Great Lawn at Lansdowne Park. So there'll be really something for everyone. There's a family fun zone, so bouncy castle, face painting, crafts. You can meet some of your favorite characters, princesses, superheroes, all that that kind of
Nice.
stuff. There's also lots to do with your dog. There's a canine fun zone. You can try out doing agility training with your dog and see how your dog will work with that. Mila tried it and she's not quite there, but it's always fun to find out. And you can work with professional dog trainers too.
Oh, really? Oh, that is
try
so
that
cool.
out.
Don't worry, Mila. My 2 dogs, I doubt would be there either. I get. How old is Mila, by the way?
I'm not quite sure,
Okay,
but
okay.
yeah, she definitely. She's
young at
enjoying
heart,
that.
regardless.
Exactly.
Right, and the most relaxed dog I think we've ever had in the building.
She's loving it here.
Let's talk about what are people supporting when they come out, when they register online. What exactly are they supporting?
Yeah, so participants in the Wiggle Waggle will be helping the thousands of animals that come into the OHS care every year. We see so many animals coming in with behavior, medical needs, and they just have nowhere else to go. So you're helping homeless animals, cats, dogs, small animals of all shapes and sizes, and you're helping to give them a second chance and save their lives.
I think one thing that has really impressed the community is how far your outreach has become, and now you're putting in all this new programming and different programming over the last few years. I mean, you've got Pet First Aid that's coming up. Tell me a little bit about that. That's coming up the 25th of this month, right?
Yeah. So that is a one-day class. It's I believe it's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., something like that, and you'll learn kind of all the basics of providing emergency first aid for your pet. So it's a great thing to have for any pet owner or anyone who just is around animals.
Right.
So you'll learn kind of preventative health care for your pet as well as emergency, what you do in situations like putting on bandages, all that kind of stuff, and it's taught by a registered veterinary technician. So it's really a wonderful class for people who are around animals.
It's been a really hot summer. I know that we've had some cooler days and we've had a lot of rain, but we're starting to see those hot temperatures are probably coming back over the weekend.
Yeah.
Just probably a good reminder to let everybody know that, it's not only a danger to ourselves, it's a danger to our pets.
Absolutely, yeah. It can be very dangerous for pets in extremely hot weather. So just if it's a really hot day, we recommend shortening the length of time that pets are outside. Maybe take your dog on shorter walks. Maybe walk them in the earlier morning or in the evening when it's a little bit cooler. And something that we like to remind everyone is never to leave a pet in a car, especially on a hot day. But any temperature really can be a danger for them. Yeah, it can be deadly within a few minutes. Even if you're just running into the store, a lot of people think, I'll just be back in a second, or I'll leave the window cracked and they should be fine. But truthfully,
the window cracked at 37 degrees with the humidity is not going to help much.
Yeah.
Very quickly, you also have a youth pet sitting course coming on in October, right?
Yes, very exciting. So this is for teens 14 to 17, I believe, or 18, and it's in October. It's a 4-week session.
Oh, excellent.
And teens can learn all about pet care to basically start their own pet sitting businesses. So it's a really great opportunity for teens to earn some money on the side. Mila's taking a little.
See you later,
walk.
Mila. Thank you so much, Jillian. Always a pleasure having you and anybody from the Ottawa Humane Society. Again, the Wiggle Waggle Walk and Run coming up September 29th, Lansdowne Great Lawn, ottawahumane.ca to register. It's open right now, so register, go and have some fun with your family and friends. We'll be back with more right after this.
The Order of Ottawa celebrates outstanding citizens. Recipients come from diverse backgrounds. They make exceptional contributions in many areas of city life. They are advocates for minorities. They are media experts and visionaries in community building, innovators in healthcare, leaders in education. They are technology leaders and entrepreneurs. They entertain us. They are passionate about arts and culture. They are outstanding citizens and members of the Order of Ottawa. Who inspires you? Who will you nominate?
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you join us for an hour to give right here on Rogers TV. We're going to talk about everything that is going to inspire you about this beautiful city.
Oh, I thought I was excited, but my next guest is probably a little bit more excited because we are 11 days away from the Paris 2024 Paralympics, and my next guest will be representing Team Canada in wheelchair fencing. I'm joined by Trinity Lothian. Welcome to the show. Great to have you here, Trinity. You've got an incredible story, so I want you to take us back to you. I mean, you were an incredible athlete. You were, I think, in what, 5 or 6 different disciplines at the time, and then in 2018, your life changed, right?
Mm-hmm. I was a pretty competitive athlete in water polo, biathlon, cross country, all those endurance sports. And then in 2018, I started getting pretty sick. Wasn't able to tolerate like much food. Lots of stuff was going on, and we didn't know what was happening. And it wasn't actually until last year that I got my official diagnosis. But things had progressed quite quickly, and it was because of an autoimmune autonomic neuropathy, which means that basically your autonomic nervous system is what controls the parts of your body that you don't think about, like your digestion, your bladder, your heart rate, your temperature, things like that. And essentially those nerves are being attacked by my body and dysfunctioning. So
you were in CHEO for quite some time. How long were you in CHEO rehabilitating from this?
For most of grade 11 and 12, I was in the hospital and doing school from there.
Okay.
And at the time, they didn't know what was wrong. They were just trying to keep me okay. It wasn't until I got into the adult world at TOH that they actually started putting the pieces together and working to get me back to where I am now.
So then you ended up losing your mobility because of this? Is that how?
Yeah, so essentially one of the treatments that I had for the neuropathy, it caused meningitis. And so, of course, I got the 1 in a million side effect from it. I actually had meningitis twice. And after each of those times, I lost more mobility, and now I use my wheelchair like full time.
So, being the competitive person that you are, that in 2022 you decided to turn to the sport of fencing. What attracted you to wheelchair fencing in particular?
To me, even before, I was always interested in those niche sports, like water polo is not that popular here in Canada.
Right.
And so I was never interested in going like a popular para-sport route, like wheelchair basketball, para-athletics, never really interested me. I wanted to do something that was a bit more niche, and in my research, I found that really nobody in Canada does much wheelchair fencing. So I thought it would be a cool sport to try and reached out to my coach, and turns out there's a club here in Ottawa, and I got started there.
And your coach was quite impressed, like right away. He saw that you had that skill. I mean, I imagine that motivated you to just take it on. And so let's talk about the success that you've had up to this point. Obviously, you've qualified for the Olympics, so there has been a lot. But before you've qualified, I mean, I imagine you had to go through not only a lot of training, but a lot of competitions.
Mm-hmm. And the fact is there's when I started 0 wheelchair fencing competitions in Canada. And so for me, my very first competition, I actually flew to Brazil with my coach. Wow. And it was the Under 23 World Championships and the Pan American Championships. So right away, I was thrown into the deep end, and I came back with 4 medals at the Pan American Championships. And that kind of is when it clicked for my coach that, okay, we're on the right track, we're doing the right things, and to keep continuing down this road.
So is it the exact same rules as fencing in general?
It's a little bit different because both athletes are fixed to the platform, so people can't move, and you're always within each other's area of target area. The main difference, I would say, is the target area, because for me, my weapon, I do épée. There's 3 different weapons, and in able-bodied épée, the target is the entire body, from the toes to the top of your head. But in wheelchair fencing, you can't move your legs. Some people don't even have legs. So the target area is waist and up. But otherwise, the rules are relatively the same, and it's very transferable. So for me here in Ottawa, all of my opponents are standing fencers that sit down to fence me.
Okay.
And so for them, it's very transferable.
You brought in your weapon of choice here. So you do épée. What makes épée different from other types of fencing?
So in fencing, there's épée, foil, and saber. And foil and saber are priority weapons. So essentially, if 2 people touch at the same time, it means that only one person gets the point, and it's very complicated. The referee decides that. And there's a whole bunch of rules. In épée, if 2 people touch at the same time, both people get the point. So it's a lot more simple that way.
Right. And there's different category, like A and B. What is the, because you're competing in B, what does that mean exactly?
So for wheelchair fencing, like other disability sports, you're categorized based on your functional ability.
Okay.
So for category A, it's athletes who have an impairment just in their lower body. So most of them can stand, walk, they don't use wheelchairs in their day-to-day life. But for category B, it's athletes like me who have an impairment in their lower legs, or their legs, and also their trunk. So their abs or their balance and things like that. So category B athletes compete against category B athletes and A against A, so that it's fair.
You mentioned that your digestive system was attacked, and so as far as maintaining nutrients and that sort of thing, are you on a special diet of some kind?
So I haven't been able to eat since 2018, essentially. I started with feeding tubes, but never really tolerated that because my intestines and stomach essentially weren't moving. So it caused me a lot of pain and nausea, and I wasn't getting any nutrition. So since 2020, I've been solely fed by intravenous nutrition.
Wow.
So I have my backpack here, and I get all my nutrition essentially through my heart.
People can follow your journey, I imagine, on social media. Where can they find you?
Yes, so I have an Instagram where I post fencing updates at Lothian_can.
Well, we'll be following you along, and congratulate. I mean, just to get to this point is an incredible, incredible achievement. Thank you so much for joining us, Trinity. Really appreciate it. By the way, the Paris Paralympics begin August the 28th, and I'll share more when you can check out Trinity coming up during our wrap-up of today's show.
Think it's okay to drive high? Think again. Drug-impaired driving is as illegal as drunk driving, and in Ontario, the penalties are the same. If police suspect you're driving under the influence of drugs of any kind, or a combination of drugs and alcohol, and you fail a roadside test, your license will be suspended immediately for up to 30 days. You'll pay a penalty of $198. And you can be charged with a criminal offense of impaired driving, the same as alcohol. Driving high is never okay.
Welcome to this week's Community News and Events. I'm Lamin Medri. The Canadian Red Cross has opened a Humanitarian Services Center in Hinton, Alberta, to support those affected by the wildfires in Jasper. So far, $750,000 has been distributed to over 2,600 evacuated households, with $10.3 million donated to the Alberta Wildfires Appeal. Your donation can make a significant impact, and until August 24th, it will be matched by the Canadian and Alberta governments. To contribute, please go to redcross.ca today. If you're looking to give back to the community or gain valuable professional skills, Ottawa Volunteer is your go-to hub. It connects people with hundreds of local charities and nonprofit organizations. Find a cause that resonates with you and get involved. Visit volunteerottawa.ca/volunteer. And for those who enjoy fishing, don't miss the new Fly Fisher airing every Saturday at noon on Rogers TV 22.
Are you a content creator looking to expand your audience and make your voice heard in your community? Rogers TV wants to provide you with a platform to share your hobbies, interests, and stories for free. Visit us to find out more.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade, host of Ottawa Business Matters. We're going to gather here every single week and speak about business here in the capital. We're going to inspire, influence, and inform.
I know you've been waiting in anticipation, but I promise you we're now here to give you all the details of the Aero Gatineau-Ottawa Air Show, back for its 7th edition, and I'm joined by its Executive Director, John Bennett. John, welcome back. Great to have you back here.
Nice to be back.
John, you know, as soon as last year's ended, which, by the way, we should talk about, but because what an incredible success it was last year. Yep. I mean, sold out all 3 days practically, right?
Yep. You know, there's a finite amount of space, and we fill it up each year.
That's amazing.
And you had asked a minute ago about how we found out, how we planned to get all the extra teams. So it's not a given that you get the Snowbirds, but it's a consistent tour around the world, around Canada. This year we started working on getting the Red Arrows and the Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds, we started 2 years ago to work on them to get them to come.
Really?
And then last fall we started working with the Red Arrows. And it was just a connection of all the right things falling into place. The Red Arrow is going to be in Canada for the next 4 weeks, so they're doing 4 shows, and we're the 3rd show. The Thunderbirds are performing 1 show in Canada, and we got it.
Nice. So, congratulations.
So we got a trifecta of jet demo teams, which is a rarity in North America.
Are they all fairly similar, or can you see are there some unique differences with each?
Completely different planes.
Really, eh?
Yeah, so the Snowbirds, the Canadian ones, they're training aircraft. They're very much older aircraft, but they're training, and they do a very tight show. Okay. Very small. You see them most of the time. The Red Arrows are also training aircraft. They are used for the next level for learning to be a fighter pilot training. They do a little bit bigger show, but also do a very tight diamond display, which is very unique. Cool. And they use their smoke with color, so it makes it even more attractive. And then the Thunderbirds fly F-16s, which is a frontline fighter currently used all over the world. So they're fast, noisy, fast and noisy.
We're just looking at some of the highlights here, by the way, with some of the promotional videos here. And another great thing is people will be able to see some of these aircraft on the ground as well, right, John?
Right. So at the Gatineau Airport, we'll have the Red Arrows and the Snowbirds on the ground. Okay. The Thunderbirds are based in Ottawa. There's a small problem. We don't have long enough runway.
Oh, I see. So they'll be taking off from somewhere else and then coming to...
They'll be taking off from Ottawa, being on stage, bang, and then they'll be off stage. So they'll be on stage approximately 11:40.
The coordination of something like this, John, must be incredibly difficult.
It is. I just had a meeting at 10 o'clock this morning trying to work out the timing for each of these airplanes. We've now got it finalized. There's a secret, but it is finalized, and we know it's going to perform. What I can let you know is the Thunderbirds open the show. We have some acts, we have the Red Arrows, and then we have some acts, and then we have the Snowbirds ending the show.
John, also celebrating a huge anniversary this year as well, right?
So we're celebrating the 100th anniversary of the the Canadian Air Force. Big event for them. They've done a lot of promoting for it across Canada. We've got, there's lots of stuff available.
A lot of swag available, yeah.
It'll be available for sale at the show this year. For the first year, we're doing a bit of swag availability. We're not competing with Bill, but we are having some stuff similar.
Of course. Let's talk Friday night, because Friday night's pretty special, something unique that most people probably won't see unless they come to a show like this.
Yeah, so it's Friday night. We've done, we're going to have the act open up with the Snowbirds putting on their show just before it gets too dark to fly properly for them. So it's called a twilight show. It's really nice. It's high, it's low. It's really, really well done, but a little bit tighter so you can always see them.
Okay.
They'll land, we'll launch the F-18, CF-18, and they'll do their show, what's called a dusk show, which is the afterburners making all sorts of white smoke
amazing.
and noise. And
yeah.
Then we'll have a gentleman named Ghost Rider do a performance in a Chipmunk, which is quite a unique little plane. It's gorgeous. And then we'll end it up with a drone show. So last year we started the drone show. We were one of the few shows in Canada to do it. This year a lot of people have copied us, but we've upped our game again on this one to make it a bit better, a bit bigger, and it will be quite a show. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, no kidding. And then Saturday, what can we expect? What is it? I guess Saturday, Sunday, pretty close to the same schedule,
Same
John?
schedule,
right.
Saturday and Sunday. We start, the gates open at approximately 10 a.m. Flying starts at 11:30. As I said, I hinted the Thunderbirds will be the first act, and then it goes all the way up until about 4 o'clock.
Okay.
There's static. There's, last count, I think I saw 45 static aircraft on display all over the field because we spread it out. The RCAF will have a number of booths there celebrating the 100th, plus there'll be recruiting booths there from the RCAF, the Navy, and the Army. Don't know why. And Afghan. It'll be a bunch of people there to try and get lots of things going on for the public to look at.
Right. Parking. Let's talk a little bit about that because that sometimes has been an issue in the past, but we fixed that issue this year,
yes, we
right,
have
John?
this year. So parking around the airfield itself is very tight.
Yeah.
But this year we've now included STO and the air show have come up with an agreement. We're paying for your fare. If you've got a ticket, you show it to the driver, you get a free ride right to the end of the station. At the last station, we'll have a shuttle bus service that'll take you right to the door of the airport. So you walk 5 minutes off the bus, and you are in the gates on the field. And that's all covered and paid for by the air show.
Food and drink, things like that available?
This year we've doubled the number of food vendors on the field.
Okay.
And we've also included 2 beer gardens on the field. So that's a big addition because lots of people want to drink beer. Don't know why, but there seems to be this love of beer.
Shows and beer, I guess they just go together. Go together, John.
And we've added, we had last year a fun zone for the children, the kids.
Okay.
This year we've doubled the size of it because that's how popular it was. Kids can
Nice.
have something you can do when you're waiting for.
So what are the different activities available?
It'll be activities, things you can build. One of the things you can build actually is this Lego. F-35 Lego. I don't know if you can see it.
Awesome.
But we've got, I think it's 7 bouncy castles, different kinds of bouncy castles to do, and target thingies, all safe stuff for kids, but I mean, run by a kids company, so it's all organized and safe that way.
I mentioned off the top of the show that this sells out each and every year.
Yeah.
Best place for people to get tickets is where?
The only place you can get tickets is online.
Okay.
We are sold out of the 2 high-end seating vents and enhanced tickets, which is a mealed area. The regular tickets, we are about 75% sold out for Saturday and about 60% sold out for Sunday.
It is a must-see. My mom and I went last year. It was absolutely incredible. Aero Gatineau-Ottawa.com to get your tickets. Get them today because, as John said, they will sell out. We'll be back with more right after this.
Today, I helped a parent feed their family by connecting them to a food program.
Today, I helped someone connect with mental health supports.
Today, I helped a couple struggling to pay their bills access financial aid.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to RogersTV.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at RogersTV.com.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. I've been telling you, I guess I don't need to wear this anymore, actually. I'm just thinking about it, although it's a great hat. Thank you, John. As you know, there's so many things to do here in the city of Ottawa, and the city of Ottawa itself has so many recreational activities available. It's been an incredible summer, and it's going to be just as incredible in the fall with the lineup that they have available. Here to tell us more about it, I'm joined by Amanda Giles. She is the Arts Center programmer with the city of Ottawa. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. I mentioned, the summer. Let's just talk about what's it been like for the summer so far.
Is winding down. We have about a week left, and then we are back to school. So the city of Ottawa has lots of opportunities for kids to stay busy throughout the year. Our before-after school program starts up. It's the same as our school calendar. So there's childcare options available for and after school. It's a great way for kids to stay engaged outside of school.
Yeah, and what do they do during these before and after school programs?
They do. It's the kids that guide what we do in the activities, because it's a program that's designed for them.
Right.
So they are involved in planning the activities. If they are interested in hockey, we do pick up hockey games in the gym, and if they're interested in arts and crafts, we do crafts in the craft room, and there's a room available for homework too. So there's a lot of things to do during the after school program.
Yeah, and then there's registration for all of the other things, and for those of you that have never been on the website before, you have hundreds of things available, not only for youth, but also for adults as well, right?
Absolutely. We have programs for everybody in the city. So on our website, it's easy to filter what your closest community center is and to get involved there, yeah.
So let's go through, I don't expect you to tell us every single thing that is available, but let's just go over some of the different sports that people can find through the city of Ottawa.
There's all sorts of things. Of course, we have swimming lessons, which is very popular,
yes.
And then all sorts of sports activities. There is STEM activities. There's arts activities. We have a lot of visual art activities. We have a couple art centers throughout the city. There's things for everybody.
Well, that's the other great thing about what you offer too, is it's right across the city. We're talking about locations right throughout the city, right? You don't have to travel too far.
Absolutely. And one of the new things we have is virtual programs. So you don't even have to leave your house to participate in city programming. We can come right to you in your living room.
Nice. So what sort of things can people find in the virtual programming side?
In virtual programming, we have fitness classes, we have STEM activities, we have all sorts of things actually that's available. What's really popular is the visual art programs for seniors, which is offered during the daytimes, which is a pretty cool program to check out.
I think it's important. I think you touched on it just a minute ago, Amanda, but for parents that have kept their kids sort of engaged throughout, right? And now the kids' focus, of course, is going to be on school, but how important, what are the benefits of, making sure that your kids aren't just submersed in school only and they get to do some of these fun things?
Exactly. So the before and after school program is really great because it's a way to stay involved, make new friends from different communities or different school communities within your area.
Right.
It's a great way to have other mentors of staff. Just get your kids involved, stay active. The before and after school program, there's tons of opportunities to stay active there, which is really, really important for our kids.
Yeah, and I know as a parent myself, you're a parent, one of the first things that comes to mind is who's looking after my children, right? When it comes to doing some of these activities, the staff there, all incredibly qualified, right?
Absolutely. All of our staff are highly trained. The City of Ottawa is accredited with the High Five program, so there's a couple different things that we have for our staff. It's a program that gets our staff to be inclusive and invite everybody to participate, where they can make new friends, they participate in new activities, so learning new skills, and it's all about fun. So
yeah, and the other thing that parents think about is affordability, and I think the City of Ottawa, you know, there's a lot of great private, you know, businesses and organizations that are doing great things, but does the City of Ottawa allow for it to be a little bit more affordable than perhaps some other private organizations?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And then if you need some assistance, there's also programs available to support your registration fees that is available through the community centers.
Concentration has been mostly on youth during our conversation, but what about for adults? What do you have available right now leading into the fall?
Fitness programs is really popular, yeah. So that's really something that's very popular with the adults. Zumba classes, we have Tabata classes, so a whole bunch of new fitness classes they're coming online.
Pickleball?
Pickleball,
I would hope,
huge.
right?
Absolutely.
It's absolutely exploded. I actually ended up buying a couple of pickleball paddles myself a couple of years ago. It's so much fun. But throughout the year as well, then, you know, kids have breaks, PA days, March break, that kind of thing. Is there availability during those times as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we're not in session with the before after school program, there's camps available. So winter break camp, March break camp, PA day camps, and then of course summer camps. So we've got your childcare needs set up for you. Yeah.
Amanda, for the fall session, is registration open yet?
Yes, it opened on August 15th. So everything is online at ottawa.ca/recreation. And the classes will be beginning in September for our fall session.
Excellent. Amanda, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. And thanks to you and your entire team. I know that you guys work like tirelessly to put all these together. As we said, different locations available throughout the city as well. So it doesn't matter what community you're in, you're going to find a spot for you and your kids. Ottawa.ca/recreation to sign up. Registrations are already open, and many of those activities will fill up very quickly. So I can't encourage you enough. Make sure you get on and get in there quick. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPratte. I hope you join us for an hour to give right here on Rogers TV. We're going to talk about everything that is going to inspire you about this beautiful city.
All right, let's go over some things from today's show. A big thanks to Mark Gomez from Little Barcelona for coming on the show. Of course, Rolf Jonicki's food and drinks editor at Capital Eats. CapitalEats.ca, by the way, to subscribe. But don't think I mentioned where Mark was located out there in Prescott. He's at 991 Industrial Road, Unit D. So pay them a visit. You can find him on littlebarcelona.ca as well. A reminder, the Aero Gatineau-Ottawa Air Show coming up September 6th to 8th at the Gatineau-Ottawa Executive Airport. Tickets will sell out. They sell out incredibly quickly. AeroGatineau-Ottawa.com is the only place to get your tickets, so get them now, get them quickly. The Wiggle Waggle Walk and Run coming up September the 29th. That's at the Lansdowne's Great Lawn. Registration is now open. Such a fun day. 10-kilometer run, 5-kilometer run, and then they have the fun walks of 3, 2, and 1K with your dogs. OttawaHumane.ca to find out more information on that. You can donate online as well if you can't make it out or you can't register. And be sure to follow Trinity at TrinityLothian.ca on her journey to the Paris Paralympics. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on Daytime.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hi, I'm Meg, and this is Fit Finley, and we're from Fit Over 50. Join me for a new season, which is full of awesome workouts designed for adults 50 plus. Improve your motivation, your strength, and your energy. Join me for a new season of Fit Over 50 exclusively on Rogers TV.
Join us Monday to Friday on Daytime Ottawa as we showcase some of the fabulous things that are happening in your city. We'll